Three, two, one. Hey guys, so I want to talk about something which I am genuinely seeing in the design community. It's not talking about much, and that's why I switched from ChatGPT to Claude for my design work. And I'm not talking about because it's for the hype or might be getting sponsored from the ChatGPT, Claude, or none of them. But once I switched, I saw the pattern for my design quality of my work, and once I saw it, I couldn't unsee it. So a bit of a background, I've been using the AI as a product designer, not just because I'm replacing my thinking, just because I wanting to do some lightweight researches such as the synthesis of data, or might be rapid prototyping, or might be I'm wanting to capture any of the business requirement and turning them as a design layout very fast. So, and more recently, I've been using the Figma Make. That is one of the feature from the Figma, that is a AI feature. And what I genuinely like about this, where you can dump your design into Figma Make, and with your prompt and description, you can turn them into a prototype, which is very useful. It is helpful for you pitching your ideas to the stakeholders very rapidly, and also you can show your this idea or might be some thinking to the engineering team to get you understanding what's their constraints, what are the constraints are, or might be edge cases. It is one of the amazing thing, but the workflow sounds very simple. And what is like where, and here's the thing where I can see that the two tools is feeling very different to me. So I genuinely find this problem in ChatGPT is the hallucination, and I don't mean that any dangerous kind like fake law or might be the fake statistics. I mean it's very subtle, and it is very dangerous for any other designers, very terrible. And I want to just give a brief, like a fintech app for the first time users, and it would confidently just come up with the content or the labels and user journeys, and it didn't match the brief, but it will also fill the gaps and the whole assumptions, and those assumptions will be very plausible. It will pass through your design and will make a layout. And here's the thing, when you are just sharing with your stakeholders with your early concepts, and your design can derail with something like with the whole conversations, and they stop thinking or might be seeing your design, they will be questioning about your facts, how you came up with the insight. And there's so many conversations to correct your facts. And here's the thing with the Claude, it is very surprising to me. It's like it's a such more like likely to it will just flag any of the uncertainties or might be the problems. It will tell you genuinely with the things which is coming across. And for the design workflow, it is quietly massive. So here's the actual workflow which I'm trying to use. Is the step one is the lightweight research using Claude. So for example, if I'm having a brief from the stakeholders, I will be dumping this brief on the Claude, and I ask it to help. For example, I would be liking to ask who the user is, what the business goal, what I am trying to achieve here, like the friction, and what the primary goal is. And it won't be making any 40-page brief or the document. It will be just giving a clean summary that is helping you to design something at the first stage initially. And the reason I use Claude is just because it stays close what I wanting to give, and it doesn't just invent personas or any of the other additional requirements which is not been asked. So that gives my starting point very clean and to the point where what I'm trying to achieve. So here's the thing, I will be using on the step 2 for the summary which I received from the Claude. I'll be adding it to the Figma Make, and I'll be giving this instruction that design a dashboard for the first time users making a budgeting app. And the primary action is adding a first transactions, keeping the layout very minimal, clean, seamless, and the most critical information should be on load. So here's the step 3 is about the initial design you have received, And in that initial design, it's not the production ready design at all. You shouldn't be think about that. I would suggest that you shouldn't be rely. And one another thing is you get the initial design where you can move around, you can just build on the top of that. You got the some direction to that you can lead on. It's one of the clean prompt which you have given to the Claude. Thanks to that, and because of that, you receive this layout and reflecting the intent. Here's the step 4, which I'm using Claude again for the pressure test design. Before going into the stakeholders room, I just wanted to check back with the Claude whether their design has solved the purpose, like the requirement, the goal, the business objective, what is something is missing. It's like a quick sanity check, and that is something I believe it is helpful for validating for self-satisfactions, workflow which I'm using while pitching to the stakeholders doesn't care about your process. They only care about your whether you're solving the right problem. And when you walk into the room, they want to see and reflects their business requirement, user needs, and also the design, and they will be trusting you immediately. And the old way of doing was you were just polishing the wireframe number of times whether you knew you were solving the right problem. And now this, from the brief to the design, you are doing it in a fraction of time, and the quality of the conversations goes completely different. Because I'm not defending my design right now, and I am showing the design which has came from the insights which was provided, the business requirement, the structure, and it's completely reflected at them. Now, I want to be very fair because I am not trying to sell you on anything. Claude isn't just a perfect either, and it can be slower to the point sometimes. It can be while you're working on the long form copies or content writing. The difference between the tools is just smaller than you think. And for these use cases like the requirement synthesis, or might be structured thinking, or might be working alongside the tool, that is something really better fit for me genuinely. And that's coming from a person who was using ChatGPT for over a year and before making the switch. So if you're a designer and you're using AI and not still getting the output as per your expectations, possibly it could be not about the prompt, it could be possibly about a tool. Try this workflow with your real brief right now and see what happens. And I genuinely love to know in the comments, are you using AI in your design process? So I like to know which tool you're using for what purpose, and because I think we are still figuring it out together. And so if you like any real, honest design workflows from me, please subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.